Hi, this is Carol Woodbury, and I'd like to talk to you today about the task of automating your security administration when it comes to user profiles. Now, I know that this can be a pretty manual task, and sometimes it falls to the bottom of the list. So what I'd like to do is show you how you can use SkyView Policy Minder to automate the management of user profiles. I'm on the SkyView Policy Minder main menu. I'm going to take option 2. And I'm going to go right into the user profile category. Now, I've already created several of these things called templates. And a template is simply a way for you to define which user profiles you want Policy Minder to look at and what attributes of those profiles you want it to examine. So I've already created some of these. What this really allows you to do is customize and automate the examination and, again, management of user profiles. So how does it do that? Well, with the templates that I've already created here, there's one called All Object. What it's going to do is look for new profiles that have All Object now that didn't have it in the baseline that was already established. And while I'm talking about All Object here, it could be any of the special authorities or perhaps a member of QSEC-Offer if you've made that a group and so forth. So again, a very easy way to do that. In addition, this template allows you to simply list out the profiles that have All Object or are a member of QSEC-Offer or whatever. There's other things that you might need to do with user profiles. Some of them have to do with compliance. Things like making sure that command auditing has been configured for any profile with All Object or, again, any member of QSEC-Offer. But a lot of times it's just simply the management of those profiles. So one task that you might be tasked with is to make sure that profiles that are inactive a certain period of time have been set to a status of disabled. So let me just show you what that template looks like. It's really easy to do. You can look, as I said, at user profiles in many different ways. And in this case, we're looking at it for the number of days inactive. Now, the reason I like this template and I like to show it to people is because it allows you to customize what's going to be examined. So not only do you say which profiles to look at, but you can omit some of them from the processing. And this is so powerful because, again, what I want to do with this product is to save you time. So what we've done is to allow you to omit the profiles. And that eliminates all of the manual, oh, I don't have to worry about this profile, I don't have to worry about that profile when you're examining the report. If you're doing that, if you find yourself doing that when you're reviewing a report, all you do is simply come in here and add it as an omit record. And that way, if you have a profile listed on one of the reports, you know that something has to be done with that profile. It's not meeting your requirements. So in this case, I've just said that I want to look at the profiles inactive 90 days, but I'm omitting the IBM profiles and omitting profiles that own objects. Now, it's really also very easy to document what you're doing with Policy Minder. I know that from time to time you change jobs or perhaps you need to justify to an auditor what you're looking at. So we've allowed you to add a policy description. So you can say which part of, in this case, PCI that you're implementing. Maybe blah, blah isn't the right terms that you want to use, but, you know, get creative with your description. And you might also explain why you are omitting certain profiles. Omitting profiles that should never have been set to status of disabled. So this description gets printed out when you run a print policy command. Very easy. You may take it one step further and need to manage and automate the deletion of user profiles. So we have a delete template. So again, you could take a look at the profiles that are inactive a certain number of days. So let's change that to be a status of 180 days inactive. You can specifically specify user profiles. So we have an upload function that allows you to populate this template with a list of profiles. And again, you're going to omit certain ones. You're going to omit the IBM ones. You're going to omit probably all of the group profiles and so forth. When you choose to run this template, what it does is run delete user profile, and the default is to not delete profiles that own objects. So again, what our customers do is run the compliance check, what we call a compliance check. That's the comparison of this template definition to what's actually on the system. So in this case, it would come up with a set of profiles that are inactive 180 days. It would omit any of the group profiles and omit any of the profiles beginning with the letter Q. So our customers will automate and schedule the check, and then they'll automate and schedule the Fixit command right after the check, and then they have a perpetually clean system. You don't have to have a fire drill right before the auditor comes. So again, it allows you to have a handle on your system perpetually. Let's take a look at what it looks like to create a template. So I'm going to look at group members. And one of the tasks you might have as a security administrator is to make sure that the members of a particular group are configured correctly. So my group name is Supergroup. And I'm going to make sure that all of these users don't have any special authorities and or have an additional supplemental group. And perhaps I have an initial menu that I want to specify. This I'll say sign off. And I'll say that all of these users should be limited capabilities, yes. So I'm going to go ahead and create this template. You can see I could choose a lot of different attributes to look at, but I just chose the ones exactly that I wanted to look at. Now what I want to show you is the check command, and this is what you will schedule in your favorite job scheduler. Group members. And the nice thing about this is that when you schedule the compliance check, you can also say that you want to email the report to yourself. I'm just going to go ahead and run this real quickly. And then you can see that non-compliant items were found. What does that mean? We'll take a look at the work with compliance screen. And when we take a look at it this way, you can see that there are 7 profiles that were examined. When I take a look, you can see that there are 2 of them that are out of compliance. Let's just subset that to only look at those 2. If I display them, what the configuration that it's supposed to be is the policy. That will always be in the middle. And what it's supposed to be will always be on the right. So you can see my special authorities don't line up. The limited capabilities was supposed to be yes, and it's actually no. So you can see I've got some issues here. Well, what I can do is enable Fixit. Fixit will actually change the user profiles to match your policy. So we require you to enable the Fixit function because you're going to be changing things. So all I have to do is just run Fixit, just like I did the check command. So user profile, if I could type it would help, huh? Okay, user profile and group members. And if you want to, you could run Fixit in test mode. That will tell you what would change but not actually make the change. I'm going to go ahead and run it though. All right, 2 things were fixed. Now let's take a look at the reports that were generated. And to do that, I have switched over to the view, the same set of templates, the same system, but I'm using our PolicyMinder GUI, which is a browser-based GUI. And I like to do this because it's a really easy way to see multiple systems as well as look at the reports. So I'm just going to look at the reports on this system, and you can see here's the compliance report that was generated. Now if I take a look at that, and enlarge it a little bit, you can see that the profiles that are listed are only the 2 profiles that were out of compliance, not all 7 profiles. So when I take a look, and we can expand this, you can see again the policy is always going to be in the middle, and what the actual values will always be on the right. And again, they're very well highlighted as to what is in and out of compliance. And then the other report that I was going to show you is the Fixit for this. So this is the report. Again, you could email this to yourself as part of the Fixit function. So it lists the command that was run and the previous values. It also lists the profile that was running at the time of the Fixit, as well as the actual time and date. So you have a complete listing and a complete record of what was changed and who changed it. These are just a few of the ways that you can automate your security administration tasks and your user profile management. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.